Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. So this 2 years without a grocery store has been a challenge to say the least. We ran out of things pretty early on that we missed towards the end and we couldn't wait to get. And yogurt was one of them. Now there's about 4 things, and I think over the next couple of weeks I'm going to try and make those from scratch. Now, since I'm back to buying things from the grocery store, I have picked up some yogurt. Now, this is the only one that I could find with the live cultures in it. It says it right there, live active probiotics, which is what I'm told you need to make, or what I've researched you need to make yogurt. I'm going to try it with this whole milk, the shelf-stable milk from the Dollar Tree. Even this is getting hard to find. So I think next time I try to make this, I will try and make it from some powdered milk that I have, and it's still readily available. So yogurt was one of them I'm going to try to make today. I have tried it before. It didn't work out so well. 2 things why. I bought this pack because it's the only one I could find with live cultures or live probiotics. I hope that's the same thing. And I hadn't had yogurt in so long, I wanted to treat myself, so I ate 2 of them before I made it, and I only had 2 left. And what they showed was just making a little bit, probably about the same size milk, same amount of milk, but just using one of these, and it turned into, and I like Greek yogurt, so I like the thicker yogurt, and it didn't work for me. So I don't think I had enough, so I pulled off eating any of these. So I'm going to use all 4 of these in this batch today. And my kitchen is very cold. Even though I put it in my oven with the light on, I don't think it stayed warm enough. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to use my Power Pressure Cooker XL. And I looked at the functions of the heat that these are on, and they pretty much all the same. One ranges from about 178 to 228, and the rest are about 228. So any of these will work to bring up my milk to temp. And what I had to do last time, because it wasn't keeping warm, I put a glass bowl over here and I used the keep warm, and after 6 hours, it did sort of turn into, it wasn't as thick as I liked it, so I did drain it. I might have drained it a bit too much. And I actually used the whey off of it to make muffins. So I think I'll do that again. That was a big hit. So I'm going to do it in this pressure. I have my stainless steel insert in, and I'm going to do it right in here and use one of these functions. I'm not exactly sure which one. This is not the fancy dance, the Instapot that has the yogurt function on it, but I think one of these will work just fine. I know the slow cooker is 178 to 228. So I might just use one of these, maybe this the chicken meat one or something, some of this other one, any of these other ones that can bring it up to the temp I need to make yogurt. So let's get started on this. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is pour in my milk. And I'm using the whole container. And this is 32. Oops. Okay, so yeah, there goes my tripod again. Just tilt you up a little bit here. Sorry about that. Did it go down again? All right, so that's 32 ounces. Yeah, I need to get a new tripod. But I'm kind of cheap like that, so I'm holding out hope that this one will hold on a little longer. So I'm going to get this warmed up to the temp. I'm going to double check that, but I believe it's 180, but I'm going to double check the temp that I need to get my milk warmed up to before I add in my... Okay, so I did put my top on. I did wind it on, but I'm not going to put it under pressure. I'm going to press that button. It's 15. Actually, I'm not going to put this right on because I don't want it to go under pressure. So this will just warm it up, but it won't go under pressure. Hopefully. Let's cross our fingers. But here it is. It's not going to be able to go pressure, but it will warm up. So this whole time I was working in the kitchen doing other things while it was warming up. And of course, as you can hear, my dog was starting to bark. So I actually stepped out of the kitchen to find out why. And sure enough, it boiled over. Yep. I probably wouldn't have caught it anyway, but I'm just checking the temp. So I'm just taking it out of its housing and covering it so it could cool down to 110. And it will give me time to clean up my mess. As you can see, quite a bit spilled. and I've got to clean it up. So I just wanted to show you what kind of yogurt I like. This is the one I like. Well, Greek yogurt, vanilla. I like that. The whole milk yogurt, I can take whatever. Doesn't have to be whole milk. It could be skim milk or whatever. Whole milk tastes better, but I do like the vanilla, which is what this is. And I got this for eating right away, and then I got this to make more yogurt because this didn't have the live cultures in it, or so I thought. So I was just reading here because I was just gonna fix myself a snack, and there you go. Contains live and active cultures. So I could have bought just this one and been done with it because this was so expensive that I was like, should I do it or should I not? I was just gonna buy this one because I really wanted yogurt. But now that I know I can just buy this one, well, maybe I won't have to. It will work out this time, and I'll just keep making my yogurt from this. Hopefully, I'm just cooling it, just letting it cool down until I add my yogurt. I think I'm gonna use some of this and some of this. Why not? Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do when I go to hopefully make my yogurt. Cross my fingers that it works this time, and hopefully I'll get yogurt going on from this, and provided I can find the milk. So this is going to be my little snack. It's just my yogurt and a few of the berries that I had in my freezer from last year's garden, and this is what I like to eat. Sometimes I put granola on it, some homemade granola. I don't have any of that right now, but I have berries, and I'm going to enjoy this. Okay, so I took 2 of those yogurts and some of this yogurt, and I mixed it up together. Now these say they're 4 ounces. Can you see that? Does it say it on this one? 4 ounces. So that would have been a cup, right? No, I don't know if you can see that. Probably not. But this is a cup, and I put some of that in there as well. So I'm being gypped somewhere or the other. Probably in those 2 right there. So this is a cup of yogurt, and I have my milk. It's cooled down. There is a little bit of a crust on it, or a skin, as they say. Some people pull it off and say they don't like to eat that. I don't know. I'm gonna see and then decide whether I want to put it in there or not. Okay, so I did pull the skin off of it. I'm going to have a Pyrex dish here. I'm gonna take a little bit of this hot milk and put it in here and temper the yogurt. We'll see how this works. And then I'm going to add it back into the milk, and I put it back in my Power Pressure Cooker XL, and I'm gonna put it on keep warm. Okay, so I've got my yogurt all incorporated with the warm milk. I'm going to put it right back in here, scrape it all in. Hopefully this works. And they say to put it on keep it warm for about 6 to 8 hours or so, depending on how tangy you like it. I kind of like it on the tangier side. So I'm going to go for 6 hours and check it. And then if I have to go, some people say overnight. So I'm going to do about 6 hours. Just mixing it in here. I'm turning it on to keep warm. And put the top on it and just leave it to do its thing. Hopefully it will turn into Greek yogurt. They say you can strain it. We'll see if we have to do that. I have a cheesecloth that I can strain it through to get out some of the whey if I need to do that. Hopefully I won't, because that will take away from the volume of it. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, so my top's on. I put it on keep warm, and I'm gonna set the timer for 6 hours and then check it and maybe go another 2. Okay, so it's been 6 hours. Let's take a look at this. And yeah, that does not look like yogurt. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, guys. I have no idea. This is actually thinner than it was when I put it in here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to unplug this. I don't know if it was dripping from, maybe I'm adding water into it from having the top all the way on. I don't know. But I have my don't say anything. I have my cheesecloth. I know I have cheesecloth somewhere and I just can't find it. I've searched and searched and searched for the last 10 minutes for some cheesecloth and I can't find it. I know this looks disgusting, but what it is, I strained some blackberry jam because the family did not like the seeds in it. So I strained some blackberry jam. I've washed this. I've boiled it, and this is as clean as it's come. So yeah, this will have to do because this is the only piece of cheesecloth I can find, and it's not even that well. You know, it's got big holes in it. I might as well just use the strainer underneath. It's got smaller holes, but I thought maybe it would work. So I'm going to pour this in here and see what we get because it doesn't look like yogurt at this point. Yeah, I'm gonna say this is a fail. Yeah, this is worse than the other one that I tried that wasn't at all thick. I'm gonna leave it here to let it strain, but this almost looks like cottage cheese or something. It almost looks like it curdled. Yeah, I'm stumped as to what went wrong. I did it exactly how they said to do it. And I don't know. The whey, if you look down here at the whey looks good. Looks like the right color, but yeah, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, guys. I don't know. Okay, so I've let it drain for about maybe a half an hour. I'm not quite sure, but this is what it looks like. This is how much whey is in there. It's about 4 cups of whey. And this is what the yogurt looks like. Yeah. Maybe I don't know what this is. Okay, I definitely took too much whey out of it, so I'm going to have to add in a bit more. You know what? I'm going to add in a bit more and take a taste of it and see if I can salvage this, because that was a lot of milk and a lot of yogurt that I could have just ate. So, yeah, it almost looks like cottage cheese, which probably isn't good. But we'll see. Okay, so I put about a cup of the whey in there and mixed it up and tried it. It is disgusting. It's definitely something other than yogurt. I don't know what it is. It doesn't taste like cottage cheese, and it's like it's kind of like a grainy yogurt almost. I don't know how to explain it. It's not bad, but it's definitely not what I thought it was going to be. It's not yogurt. It's almost like cream of wheat. Do you know cream of wheat? That's what it reminds me of. That texture. Almost like cornmeal. It has that grainy texture, and I don't know where that came from, because, I mean, milk and then yogurt, I don't know. So yeah, this was definitely a fail. Will I try again? Of course, because I love yogurt and I want to stop buying it. So yeah, my failed yogurt experiment. And yeah, I think I'm just going to I could probably make muffins out of this. This is probably be good in muffins. I'm trying not to just throw it in the trash or throw it in my compost, because that's probably where it would go. I know I'm definitely going to use this for something. That's the whey that came off of it. And yeah, I will call this a fail, possibly. It's definitely not a win. It's definitely not the yogurt I intended, but I will make muffins out of it. I'm going to freeze it in muffin portions, and I'm probably going to make muffins out of this. Okay, so round 3. I'm going back to the way I did it the first time, and kind of worked. So I'm going to scald another 32 ounces of whole milk on the stove in a pot, and then I'm going to use my power pressure cooker XL to let it keep warm for the 6 hours. So that's what I'm going to do now. And I had 2 of these left, so that's what I'm going to be using for this round of trying to make yogurt.
Okay, so I've brought my milk up to 180 degrees, and I did double check that. That is the correct temp to bring your milk up to. So I'm going to take it over, and I'm going to put it in this glass bowl and over my power pressure canner with the hot water in the bottom of it, sort of like a double boiler method. And that's how I'm going to try to make this second batch. So I'm just adding the yogurt in here to the warmed milk, a portion of the warmed milk that has been cooled to 110. Now I'm adding it to the rest of the milk, and I'm going to stir it in good. I think this was another mistake I made. I'm possibly using too much yogurt because I did look this up. So this is probably mistake number 350 million, but I don't know. And I didn't stir it in enough. So those are 2 or 3 different things that I am going to try to do differently if this doesn't turn out the way it's supposed to. So I'm just going to rest the top on, and I'm going to come back to it in about 6 hours.
So here is my setup over the warm water on keep warm, and I'm just going to set the top right on and put the timer on for 6 hours. Okay, so it's been 6 hours. This is attempt number 2, and it's already looking better. So, ooh, yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm going to. Do you see what it does there? The same thing. Okay, I'm gonna strain it and see what I get. See that? I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. Can somebody help me, please? Well, it's not as watery as the other one was. So I'm gonna try this and see. The other one, I think, because I mixed the yogurts, it wasn't going to gel very well. This time I didn't mix the yogurts, but I don't think I have enough. Okay, so I've got it draining out, and I couldn't find any more cheesecloth, so I have a flour sack here, and I just put a salsa over it so nothing gets in it, and we're gonna let it just drain here for about, I'd say about 15-20 minutes. Last time I did 30 minutes. Now this is finely woven, so maybe I will leave it for half an hour, and it's not gonna drain as quickly as a cheesecloth did, so we'll see what happens.
So this is it after 15 minutes of draining over the flour sack. It's starting to drain, but I need it a little bit thicker.
Okay, so here it is. I let it drain for a total of 30 minutes, and I did try it. It's not as grainy as the one yesterday. I'm just putting it back in that container that I had. The one is yesterday, but it's not as smooth. It tastes alright. It tastes better than yesterday's one. But yeah, I don't know exactly what I'm doing wrong. I'm going to go back to the videos, and I'm not going to stop trying because I love yogurt. I can eat yogurt 3 or 4 times a day. So this is a skill I have to master. Here it is in the container. I'm going to put this in the fridge, and I'm going to use this. I'm just going to eat it. Maybe that one yesterday, I said I was going to make muffins, and I'm going to make muffins out of it. The whey I'm actually going to use as the water portion for my bread. Hopefully that turns out alright. So we'll see about that. I've got about, I don't know, that's about, I want to say 4 cups. I can't really read it. Yeah, I'm not sure how many cups it is. But yeah, I'm going to use this as the water portion for my bread because I need to make bread. And I'm going to do that tomorrow because I don't feel like doing it. It's late in the afternoon, almost evening, and yeah. So this is my third yogurt attempt. I can't get that word right. This one is probably the second best. The very first one I did was the best. The second one was totally awful. And then this one is the second best out of the 3. So we'll see. I'm definitely gonna be trying this again because, like I said, I need to master this yogurt making.
So this is attempt number 4, and this definitely takes the saying, if at first you don't succeed, try and try again.
So this is how serious I am about trying to get this yogurt thing right. and better than it was the last 2 times I tried it. So I spent my last coupon at Myers, my 10 off of 30, and I actually wanted some lettuce. Funny story. Went in there for iceberg lettuce. We were gonna have tacos, and we went to some lettuce and tomatoes. So I went for, in addition to other things, lettuce and tomato. They did not have not one head of iceberg lettuce, and the romaine lettuce there was $3 and change. I was like, nope. So I decided to get a bag of dough, like salad mix. It had lettuce, cabbage, carrots, different things in it. I had to pick over it so badly that I got the best 2 bags, and even that, some of it was already going yellow. It was crazy. I almost put it back, but I didn't want to go anywhere else, and I wanted to use up this coupon, and I was getting it just to make up that amount because I did not want to spend over what the coupon called for, and I didn't want to go anywhere else. But anyway, this is what I got because I'm going to try this yogurt once again. I got ½ gallon of milk, and that's whole milk, and I'm going to try the Crockpot method this time. And I got some non-fat Greek yogurt, and I made sure it had the, I don't know if you can see that, it has the, right there, it contains live and active cultures. So hopefully this should work. The ones I've seen have used whole milk and the non-fat Greek yogurt, so hopefully this will be a winner. I'm going to try this, and we're going to see how it goes. Yeah. I'm going to explain to you, well, basically I'm just going to follow the recipe they used, and hopefully, cross my fingers, it works out.
And I am using the recipe and the method that Joyfully Thriving used to make her Crockpot yogurt. That's what I'm using.
So into my Crockpot, I'm going to put my ½ gallon of milk. This is steel cold milk. I pulled it right out of the fridge. It goes my ½ gallon of milk. I'm going to put the top on it, and then I'm going to turn this to low and let it warm slowly for 2.5 hours. 2 hours and 45 minutes exactly, they said. And then I'll move on to the next step. So there it is with the top on it. I set the timer for 2 hours and 45 minutes, and we'll just let this warm slowly. Okay, so the alarm just went off for my yogurt here, and I don't know if I should have done that, but anyway, it's done now. I'm going to test to see the temperature. I just want to make sure it's at the right temp before I turn it off. Okay, so I just put in my, you can see that, my dial. And it should be like 180. That is 160. I think it should go a little longer because it's holding at 160. I'm going to leave it for another 10 minutes and see what happens. Okay, so I put my little thermostat in, thermometer, whatever, and I got it up to 180. It's starting to go down now because I have the top off it and everything. It took about another 50 minutes to get up to the 180. It was a little over 160 when I first tested it. So now it just keeps going down and down and down. So we are going to move on to the next step. I'm going to add my sugar, and I'm going to mix that in. And then I'm going to add my vanilla. So here is my vanilla. I'm going to add that in. Then I'm going to mix it. Mix that in. And we are going to let it sit here off for 3 hours while it cools and it comes down to the correct temperature to add in the yogurt. And we are going to temper the yogurt before we add it in. So far so good. Yeah. So I'm just turning it off. It's on off right now. I'm actually going to unplug it just to make sure nobody comes behind me and turns it back on or anything like that. And we're going to let it cool. Okay, so my yogurt is cooled down to 110. And I did put my little thermometer on it. I have my yogurt here, and I'm looking at it. I don't know if you can tell that, but look at that. It's kind of grainy. Yeah. I guess this is the way it's supposed to be. I don't know. But anyway. So I'm going to take a cup out of here and temper this yogurt. It is not directly out of the fridge because I did take it out probably about a half an hour ago. So it is a little warmer than fridge temp. Okay, so I thoroughly mixed it in. There's no real big lumps and bumps. And one of the reasons I looked up that I might have been really grainy with my previous batches was because I didn't mix it thoroughly into the warmed milk, and then I didn't mix it thoroughly in here, or I might have used too much yogurt, which I think might have been my problem because I used a heck of a lot of yogurt. So I'm just mixing this in, making sure there's no big lumps. And then I'm just going to pour it in here. And then I'm going to mix that. So that was quite smooth. And then I'm going to make sure I mix this in thoroughly, because that might have been an issue as well. Mix this in thoroughly. And then I'm going to cover it and leave it to set overnight. I'm actually going to cover mine with a wool blanket to make sure it stays warm because my house is cold. So I want to make sure this stays warm.
Okay, so I'm covering mine with a wool blanket and I'm going to leave it overnight.
Okay, so was this a complete and utter fail? It went overnight. I am going to find out if it worked along with you. Hold on one second. I'm going to take it off the blanket so I don't get that. Okay, so let's do this. I got my 2 jars out. I'm going to use the canning funnel because, yeah, I don't want to make a mess this early in the morning because I don't feel like cleaning up one. Okay, so let's see. It didn't slush around while I was moving it off of the blanket. It does look set. Ooh! Yes! I did it! I'm so happy. Okay, so I'm going to put it into these. These are quart-size wide mouth mason jars. And we are going to put this in the fridge. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. I haven't tasted it yet, so let me get a spoon and taste it. Okay, so I got my 2 quart-size jars. I'm just put a plastic top on them. And I'm going to put them in the fridge. And I have a little bit left over. And I love how thick it is. I love the thickness of it. And can you see how smooth that is? I didn't think it was going to be this smooth because the yogurt that I used was kind of, almost looked kind of grainy, like I had the previous 2 results. But I'm going to try a little bit of it, and this is enough for my breakfast. Everybody else is already eaten and actually out of the house. So yeah. Oh my goodness, look. It is so, whoops. Okay, I'm going to try that much. Wow. Okay, yeah. Success! Yes. It is so, it's not overly sweet. And I do taste vanilla. Yes. It's like the perfect consistency and taste and sweetness. I am so relieved because these 2 will be gone within the week. Easily. We do like overnight oats and I'll put it on it, or fruit, and I'll use yogurt. My smoothies, everything. I was so upset when we ran out of yogurt when we were doing the 2 years without a grocery store, and I was trying to figure out how I was going to get it. And I was talking to a friend. That's how I got the yogurt that I actually put in the freezer. She brought me a whole mass of yogurt one time, and I put some in the freezer because I just couldn't eat it all right away. But yes, if I would have known I could do this with it, I probably should have looked that up. Then I could have had yogurt the whole way through and not been without. But yes, I'm so excited that I finally got a success. Got a win here. Yes, after how many times? 1, 2. So this would have been the 3rd time that I've tried this, and it finally works. Crockpot. Do it in the Crockpot, guys. It definitely works. It's pretty much hands off. You just gotta Just gotta wait on it. So yeah, I am so happy. Okay, a little note. One thing I'm gonna do, because so I don't forget, and because everybody snacks on the yogurt, they can go and get yogurt whenever they like a snack. I'm gonna actually set aside my starter for the next one. In this container, I have these little plastic tops for it, and this is like a Pyrex dish, actually Anchor Hawken, and I'm gonna put that in the fridge and label it "Do not eat." Starter for yogurt on it, so everybody knows that they shouldn't eat this. Yeah, and then they can go to town on the other yogurt. I am so happy we got this success. We got this win. Definitely, I am so happy. But anyway, I'm gonna put my starter yogurt in here so we don't eat it. And here are just some of the overnight oats we had left, and I just topped them with that yogurt that we got. And you can see how smooth it is, and I'm sure it's going to thicken up a little bit once it goes into the fridge. So this is such a relief that we don't have to buy yogurt anymore as long as I keep it up.
So here are the smoothies I like to make, and sometimes I make them a little bit thicker where I can eat them with a spoon and call them like a fruit sorbet. And basically it's just the yogurt and fruit. Like sometimes I do strawberries. I've been doing a lot of raspberries that came from last year's garden. I've been doing blackberries that I ordered and found in the freezer that I forgot about. But yeah, I am so relieved that I can finally make yogurt. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And click that notification bell to be notified when I upload videos. God bless, and remember, stay safe and keep prepping.